Recording.
And welcome to the 4-Point Plan. I am JR. I am your host. I'm a registered drug counselor in Los Angeles, California. This is lucky episode 13, and it is Sunday, September 27th, 2020. Here we are back again at the 4-Point Plan podcast. We are super excited to be here to tell you all about the program that can save your life and give you a life beyond your wildest dreams. I am joined, as always, by my friends and co-host, Sean. Say hi, Sean.
Hello, Sean.
Hey, and then also my friend Guy, who is frozen. Guy, are you there, buddy?
Yeah.
Say hi to everybody. They're all listening on the podcast right now.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. Awesome. Guy may be a little challenged. He's out in paradise under the palm trees, enjoying himself. You look good, buddy. You look like you're having fun. We're excited. We're having fun. We're here, like always, spreading the good news, spreading the good word of the 4-Point Plan. And today's going to be the day where we really get into the plan, like get into the meat and potatoes of the plan, the nuts and bolts, the how it works, so to say. We are super excited to tell you how it works because it worked for me, it worked for Guy, it worked for Sean. This thing works, man. It's worked for hundreds, maybe thousands of others. It works for rich people. It works for poor people. It works for smart people. It works really, really good for dumb people. I'm one of the dumber people you've met, and it has worked phenomenally for me. So I'm super stoked to have you guys here. So let's we'll jump into it real quick, man. Let's start out talking about what the 4-Point Plan is. You know, people always ask, how is the 4-Point Plan and why is the 4-Point Plan? But does anybody ever ask, what is the 4-Point Plan? Well, here's what it is, baby. It is 90 meetings in 90 days. What? 90 meetings in 90 days. You got to go to a meeting every day for 90 days. It could be very confusing. We'll get into the complications that are involved with going to 90 meetings in 90 days. But I think you can do it. My friend Guy tells me it's super easy nowadays in 2020 to go to 90 meetings in 90 days. So number one of the 4-Point Plan, 90 meetings in 90 days. Or as we like to say, us insiders, right? We like to say 90 and 90. And then when people argue with us, we just answer by saying 90 and 90. What? I'm tired, a job, a girlfriend. 90 and 90. Dumbass, go to a meeting. Number two of the 4-Point Plan is get a sponsor. Now, why would you want to get a sponsor? Like, maybe you're not comfortable talking to people. Like, you need to get a sponsor, someone who can teach you how to go through the steps, how to get clean, how to stay clean. You can't do it on your own. You think you can do it on your own, but you're wrong. Your decisions were not that fantastic, or else you wouldn't have ended up addicted to drugs and alcohol. So your decider is obviously broken. You make poor choices, and now you have to come here and get some help. And you can't do it with the same broken brain that got you here in the first place. So what do? You find a sponsor. You find somebody who knows better than you do what to do and how to do it. And the person is probably going to know a lot better than you how to get sober and stay sober. Oh, and we'll get deeper into the sponsorship discussion later on too, because there's a lot of nuances to picking the right sponsor. And but here's the thing: what you don't want to do is you don't want to wait for a long time to get a sponsor. I hear a lot of people say, "Well, I don't want to get a sponsor. I don't really trust people." Well, yeah, I don't really trust people either, but I don't trust me even more. I know what a cocksucker I am. I definitely ain't trusting me. Next up, get a home group. Okay, now this is kind of easy, and at the same time, it's really, really hard. A home group is a meeting, a specific meeting. 1 hour, hour and a half, it's a meeting. You always go to this meeting. You never miss this meeting, and people know you're going to be at that meeting because that's your home group, right? And if you don't go to your home group 1 week, and so your home group members see that you're not there, they're going to worry, and they're going to call you and make sure that you're okay and you're not out there smoking crack. So home groups are really, really important. But the important piece of it is the people that are at your home group or your home group members. These people will love you like a family. Obviously, some of you guys come from really good, big, strong families, and some of us don't come from big, strong families. Some of us come from fucked up families, right? So when we go to a home group and we meet a bunch of people who all of a sudden care about us when we don't even care about ourselves, it is a pretty good feeling and experience to have this group of people begin to love you until you learn to love yourself. So the home group is vitally important, but terribly underrated. And a lot of people act like it's not that important, man. But once you get a home group and you become a part of a home group, you understand the beauty and the connection of being a home group member. So home groups are important. Obviously, we'll talk about that, for the next several years on the podcast. And the last one, not least, is the get a commitment. Now, oddly enough, I tell people to get a commitment, and they come back with some jackass remark like, well, I'm committed to not using today. That's not what we're talking about, jackass. Commitments are service commitments. You got to give back to the program and save your life. You ain't going to come and be a freeloader and be loitering in our meetings and just hanging out and stealing all the recovery for free. You got to pay. And I'm not talking about with money. You got to pay with service. You got to give back to the program. I can't wait for Sean to talk about service commitments today, because Sean busted his ass yesterday being in service to his home group. So I love service commitments. Commitments keep you clean. You can hide out in service and still stay clean. It's funny because my sponsor would give me a hard time for a while. He'd be like, JR, I see you doing all these service commitments, but I don't see you doing a lot of step work. And I'm like, yo, motherfucker, I ain't got time for that. I got commitments to go do. You can do it. Yeah, I'm not going to take away the value of doing the steps. Doing the steps is beautiful. It'll change your opinion of yourself. It definitely changed my opinion of me. But the 4-point plan, man, that's what got me clean and keeps me clean. My feelings and my thoughts, I was taught early on, don't fucking matter. What matters is what I do. If I don't smoke crack, then I don't smoke crack. What? Guy, what'd you say last week about drinking?
If you don't drink, don't get drunk.
If you don't drink, you don't get drunk. This is geniuses came up with this shit. Like I said, you can't be too dumb to get this program, and we're super dumb over here. And so we need people to tell us shit like, if you don't pick up, you won't get loaded. Some people are like, well, no shit. And not me. I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean if you don't pick up, you'll get loaded? What does that mean if you don't drink, you won't get drunk? I bet you I could get drunk without drinking. That's how dumb I am. It's okay, though. It's okay. You can be dumb and you can get clean and sober in the program. And you can use the 4-point plan to get clean and sober. You ain't got to do everything, but you got to do 4 things, right? So let's jump back to the beginning where it got really complicated, where I lost some of you, I know, when I was talking about 90 and 90. I tell people, man, just go to a meeting every day. You can't be going to like a meeting once a month or just like once a week. You got to go to a meeting once a day. And if you
Or when you feel like it.
Go to 2 a day. What's up, guy?
Or when you feel like it.
Oh, man.
I didn't feel like going.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the meeting. When you know you need to go to a meeting,
Don't want to
don't
go.
want to go to a meeting.
Yeah.
You people, addicts, alcoholics, have a disease that lives inside your brain. If you are an alcoholic, that disease that lives inside your brain has one goal, one destination, one desire. There's only one thing that disease in your brain wants, and that's another drink, okay? So if you are sitting there thinking, well, I don't want to go to a meeting because I'm tired and I'm busy and I want to watch the Rams on TV and I don't like the people at that meeting. They're all a bunch of lames. I didn't even know what that word lames is. I just heard that in meetings. They're all a bunch of lames. Is it true that you don't want to go to the meeting, or is it true that there's a disease that lives inside your brain that wants another drink? And
Sounds like
it's
self, yeah.
It's
Right.
gonna tell you shit. Sean, what?
That sounds like self-centered fear to me. All those little voices telling me, "Oh, they don't like me. I'm uncomfortable." Those are the things you need to change. Those are the things you need just to keep you sober.
Yeah, fight back against the fear. As a matter of fact, let this be a message to you. If your brain is telling you, "Oh no, I'm scared that they won't like me," then you need to fight back against that. You gotta be like, "Oh shit, that could be my alcoholism talking to me."
Back there. Lives in there.
It lives in your limbic system. See, we're students of the game, and we have been studying the way that this thing works, and there's neuroscience involved. Addiction lives inside your brain. It lives inside the limbic system. It lives in the same area of your brain where your desire to eat and your desire to breathe and your desire to reproduce all exists in the same area where your desire to continue using drugs lives. So everything that you know about survival, or that you don't know, that subconsciously your body knows or your brain knows about survival, is locked in the same room with that part that just wants another drink.
And it talks to you in your own friendly little voice, your own voice.
They say it's out there doing push-ups. My disease goes to college with me. It talks to me in my own voice and tells me collegiately, "Oh, well, your limbic system is cured now." No, it's not. No, I'm still an addict. If I do one, it's game on. It's trouble. So how do I avoid using again? How do I avoid relapsing? How
Go to a
do
meeting every day.
go to a meeting every day? Fuck it, man. Go to a meeting every day. What about, now get this. Now this is crazy. And I'm just going to shoot this out here so you guys can all consider. What if the day rolls around and I get up and I don't have to work that day, right? And so that's like, I've got a whole entire day that I ain't really got anything to do. I'll probably go to a meeting around 7 o'clock tonight. But you know, I'm an early riser, man. I'm up at 5 in the morning. So how about I go to 2 meetings on the days that I don't have to go to work? 2 meetings? I got motherfuckers can't go to 2 meetings in 1 week. And I'm talking about going to 2 meetings in 1 day. 2 meetings in a day, oh my God. Dude, you can do 90 and 45 if you did it like that.
No.
Why not, Sean? Why not? What's wrong with 90 and 45?
See, when I first met you, I think you were doing when you're doing your 90-90, I asked you about that, about doing 2 in a day. And yeah, well, as long as I go to 90 meetings, then I can knock them out in 45 days. I don't think it's the same effect as going once a day over a period of 90 days.
Well, I'm going to stay
That's
open-minded about it.
Okay.
If you want to go to 90 meetings in 45 days, do it and let me know if it works. Because I think that it might work. I don't know.
It's better than not, yeah.
I know that I had to just do 1 a day for 90 days because I am terrible at math. And I could give you this illustration to prove how bad at math I am. When I was smoking doobies, I used to get a bag of weed and I'd roll 10 doobies. And if I was able to sell 7 doobies, I would get 3 doobies for free. So right at the end of the week, I'd be like, "Oh, good, I got 3 free doobies." Never happened that way. I would always end up owing money for the doobies. And I'd be like, "Well, what happened? I did the math. The math was perfect. I did all the math. I should have got 3 free doobies, and I'm over here paying for an extra 4, 5, 6, 7 more doobies than I plan on paying for. And I don't understand why."
Okay, how do you feel about, like, say, meetings that are there all day long, like the Valley Club, for example, where they have meetings all day long? Can you go there and sit there all day long, go to 9 meetings in 1 day, times 7 would be 63. So you're looking at a day and a half and you're done with your meetings. I mean, a week and a half. How do you feel about that one?
Let's see. If there's 9 meetings a day, that's in 10 days you could have your 90 meetings done, right?
Right.
90 and 10. 90 and 10.
90 and 10. How's that?
Fuck, I don't know, man. Try it. Let's see if it works. Let's all go to 90 and 10. I think I might have close to 10 days off. I might be able to.
I like
Guy likes it. Apparently,
Look at that smile.
he's super excited about it.
I like going. I like spreading it out over the 90-day period.
I mean, it's good to do a couple meetings in a day,
a
but
chance to stick.
yeah.
90. It's having it fresh on our mind. It's a daily reminder of some of the reasons that we're not be using. It's just a daily reminder. Get in there daily, 90 days in a row. It has a chance of having it stick on your mind at least once a day, or an hour and a half. Not to continue that destruction that we were doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to apologize for Guy's shoddy service. He is hooked into some Wi-Fi from the Twilight Zone, so he's coming off a little bit like Max Headroom in the 1980s. But I think we got a gist of what he was saying. He was saying something about, I like going to a meeting every day. I like going to a meeting every day, too. If I'm at a meeting every day, I'm likely to get in a good mood every day. I'm likely to get into a recovery mood every day. I'm likely to stay focused.
Stay alive every day.
Yeah, I might be able to stay alive every day. It's not that common that people die on days that they go to meetings. It's happened, but it's not that common. I knew a cat. Yeah. He wanted it, man. He wanted to stay clean. He would come to the meeting all the time. And he was young, and he was cool, and everybody loved him, man. But he had this disease that lived inside his brain. And one day when he left the meeting, that disease was like, you could do one more. And then he died. And his family had to bury him. And his friends had to cry over him. And I still miss him. Fuck, man, that was like 10 years ago this kid died. And we're talking about life and death, man. This is a deadly thing that we're dealing with. People die. We don't want you to die. We want our friends to live. Guy, what do you think, buddy? What are we going to do? How we save lives?
Get to a meeting.
When? When should we go to a meeting?
90 times in 90 days.
90 times?
90 times in 90 days.
Yeah. Like, Sean, what happens, man, if you're working one day for 8 hours and then you go to school and you're at school for 6 hours, right? And then it's your girlfriend's birthday and you got some dinner reservations for you, right? So you might go that entire day without going to a meeting. It sucks, but it happens sometimes. Can't you do 2 the next day to make up for it?
Well, when I first did my 90 and 90, through quality life, nothing got in the way. I had to reschedule everything around those 90 meetings, 90 days. After I completed the 90 and 90, and in some special case like that, yes, I can make up 2 the next day. But in the initial 90-90, when I first go to the quality of life, I cannot miss one meeting, otherwise I had to start all over. But after I completed the 90-90, then I had to reschedule a lot of things for the first 90 meetings, 90 days.
Nice. I love that because it kind of segues sweetly into the next piece. If I got to miss it and I'm not allowed to miss it, who's the one that's telling me I can't miss it? That's my sponsor. I call my sponsor. And I'm like, yo, sponsor, I got work this morning. I got school tonight, and it's my girlfriend's birthday. Can I miss the meeting? And my sponsor might say, no, motherfucker, you need to go to the meeting.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Make your recovery number one priority.
The only time I was able to miss the meeting, I think I broke my foot and had to go to the hospital. And then as soon as I got out of the hospital, the next day, I went to the Valley Club twice in the same day to make up for that meeting I missed yesterday.
I saw you with a broken foot. You weren't missing shit.
This one day when I was in the hospital, I missed it, but the next day I went to 2 to make up for that one I missed.
Because your sponsor will teach you, man. My sponsor taught me. I told you guys this story. I'm going to tell it again, man, because it's very special to me. I got my sponsor. We bonded. We became close. I told him, I need to stay clean for my daughter. I've been absent for a lot of my daughter's life. I missed out on a lot of important milestones with my kid, and I just want to be a dad. And he's like, well, man, I got kids, I understand. And I remember this conversation because it was dope. Because he drives this weird like sports car that looks like a spaceship. It's a Ford GT 50, 40, I don't know. It looks like a Lamborghini on the outside. But when you're inside, it looks like you're sitting on little floaties from the pool. Like, it's got speakers built into the plastic seats. Like, this shit is whack, man. You're inside the car. You really feel like you're in a spaceship. So I'm sitting in there, like, still recovering, like, still dirty, still, like, new to the program. And I'm like, my priority's got to be my child. And my sponsor's like, nah, fuck that, man. Your priority's got to be your recovery. And I'm like, I don't think I agree with this. And he said, listen, man, I own a business, a huge multi-million-dollar business. I got a beautiful wife. I got 2 kids I love. One's in high school, one's in college. I got tickets to every game in town, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Dodgers, the Kings, women's basketball for some fucking reason. Oh, their fundamentals are good. Whatever. He's got tickets to all the games in town. And he said, I have to keep recovery as my number 1 priority. And it was making sense because I seen this dude at meetings all the time. I was going to meetings every day. I'd see this dude at meetings all the time. He says, I have to keep my recovery as my number 1 priority. Because if my recovery is not my number 1 priority, then I am a bad business owner, I am a bad husband, and I am a bad father. And I didn't want to buy into this philosophy. I did not want to buy in to make your recovery your number 1 priority. I didn't like the idea. I wanted my kid to be number 1. But I knew that my thoughts and my decisions sucked ass. And so far, they had only gotten me in more and more trouble. So I said, fine, I am going to trust you and I'm going to buy in and I'm going to make recovery my number 1 priority. And boom, I went to meetings every day and I got fucking commitments, man. And I never missed the meetings where I said I was going to be. And I got life beyond my wildest dreams. So my sponsor was right. Like everything that he ever tells me, he was fucking right. And my sponsor.
Hey, JR. It sounded like
There's a robot
one of your sponsors. I said it sounded like that disease in the back of your head didn't want to listen to your sponsor.
Right, for sure, because I was still really new. And like you said, the disease in my head, the addiction knew. If I listen to this guy that tells me, make recovery your number 1 priority, that's going to make it harder for my disease to get back into the crack pipe. My disease is like, no, if you make recovery number 1, then we probably aren't going to smoke crack again for a while. It knew. See, my disease, okay, I'm dumb, but my disease is smart. My disease could see this shit coming from a mile away. It's like, no, don't get that guy to be your sponsor. That dude's fucking good. You want to get a shitty sponsor. Ask that dude over there that's dirty and don't have a job and only has like 3 months clean. Go ask him to sponsor you. He's also sponsoring a couple of chicks and his dog. So go, no, that's my disease because it wants me to get loaded. So it's trying to pick out bad sponsor. You got to listen to your sponsor and don't listen to your disease, right? I love my sponsor. And you guys have been to my office at work, and this is awesome. I don't know if you guys think it's kind of dumb, but I made a Post-it, and I wrote Bob Hearts JR, and I stuck it up above my desk. So all day when I'm at work, I can look up and see, oh, yeah, my sponsor loves me. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I saw your sponsor on Friday, guy. I saw him at a Zoom meeting. How's he doing?
He's doing great. he's living the life, you know, and he's passing on his knowledge of it to somebody else, to a lot of other, actually, not just me. He passes it on to a lot of other people.
Right on. Thank you, Robot Man. And Sean, you have maybe the best sponsor out of all of us. I mean, my sponsor Bob is pretty fucking badass, and Guy's sponsor Bob is also pretty fucking badass. But your sponsor might be the best sponsor of all the sponsors. You got, what's his name?
name's Nate, but I don't know. He's the best sponsor for me. I don't want to, we're not here to to balance each other or to rate each other's sponsors here. Everybody's sponsors. My sponsor is good for me. Yes, he's the best sponsor there is for me. Absolutely. I don't know about Bob. I think I saw Bob at the meeting on Friday. But no, my sponsor holds me accountable. I never had. This is my first sponsor I've ever had. My first sobriety, my first recovery. So it was all new to me when I came in, and I didn't know. I went to AA once or twice in the past, but never dove into it like I do now. My sponsor helped me stay accountable and helped me stay responsible. He made me, he made me go to 90. Or he suggested, and I followed it. It was my first got to quality life. There was a concert I think I wanted to go to. I'm like, oh, I just got out of treatment. Can I go to the concert on Saturday? And he's like, sure, you can go. Find another sponsor. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah. Because your sobriety comes first. And like what JR said about his daughter, and that's true. Because when I first came to AA, I had my kids. They were living with the mom, and I wanted to do everything at once. I want to get a job, I enrolled in school, and then I trying to get the kids all situated. And my sponsor says, "Yeah, nope, you have to put everything on hold. I had to de-enroll in school. I had to stop going to, I had to unregister for school." And at first, I got a little resentment towards him. Like, really? Like, you want me to not go to school right now? Because sobriety has to come first. Everything else will be a byproduct. Everything else is a byproduct of your sobriety. Everything else will fall into place the way it's supposed to. As long as you keep your priorities straight, your sobriety comes first. Go to your meeting in 90, and then we'll talk about your future after that. And that's what I did. And yeah, and it's been an amazing journey. I'm still pretty new, but everything else is falling in place. Everything I have today is a direct result of AA and the 4-point plan that we're trying to teach you guys here.
Dude, you're so lucky. You got such a good sponsor. You see him, you see how he's trying to be all humble about his sponsor. I'm trying to blow up his sponsor. He's like, oh, this is not a competition. Yeah, motherfucker, it is a competition. And we were just being nice. We love Nate, but fucking, I'll tell you right now, Bob's the sponsor in NA. Bob is the man. My Bob is the man. Guys, Bob is also very good, but he's a different kind of Bob than my Bob. My
sponsor will fuck your sponsor up.
Dude, if there was a grand champion sponsor, it'd be my Bob. My Bob.
Great grand sponsor will fuck all your sponsors up.
I'm gonna get him a coffee cup that says "World's Greatest Sponsor" and just show you. He's gonna get it, and you'll know.
My sponsor says, "Fuck your sponsor." Coffee cup.
I love that. I also love that every time I go to your home group, I see your sponsor. That dude is a meeting maker right there. Also, Guy, whenever I go to your home group, I see your sponsor there because that dude's a meeting maker. And my sponsor also goes to my home group and is the secretary because he rules. But also because it's about home group now, man. You got to find some place that you fit, man. You got to get in where you fit in, right? Like, Guy goes to the Valley Club. Sean goes Quality of Life. I go actually to NA, which is different than both those guys go to AA. I go to both, but my home group is in NA. My home is in NA. My sponsor's in NA. So the home group is a spot, man, where I went and found a family. I went and found a bunch of people who loved me. And they loved me until I could love myself. I went to this meeting for a long time while I was still using it. That's just part of my story. I couldn't stop using for a long time. So I would go there, and the people there, they cared. And I remember once upon a time, my friend from my home group, Rick, came up to me and said, JR, the thing about you is you made me believe that when we pray for the addict still using, it worked. Because I used to pray for you by name, and now you're here and now you're clean. So, man, these are the kind of people that are in your home group. There's people who are praying for you by name. People who love you until you can love yourself. I got invited to a fucking Angels game, Anaheim Angels game. I had 60 days clean. I felt like a space alien. I felt like a dirty, terrible, smelly human being. And these people were like, yo, JR, get in the car, man. We bought you a ticket. We're taking you to the game. I'm like, that's like an hour in a car. You want to spend an hour in a car with me? You better roll down the windows. I am smelly. But they didn't care, man, because they were my home group members and they loved me and they wanted me to feel a part of. And it was one of the first things, man, that made me feel human because I was so used to having no life, just living in a fucking bathroom, shooting up all day, only coming out to hit a lick and fucking hit the pawn shop and go back home and have the drug dealer come and drop off some heroin to me. My life was fucking horrible and fucking empty, and I didn't believe that I was worthy of human contact. And these people said, hey, get in the car, man. You are worthy. You are a good person. And they loved me, man. They loved me until I learned to love myself. And that's what happens at your home group, man. You go to your home group and you get in. And you get in and you reap the rewards of membership, right? Don't be on the outside. There's a popular slogan in AA for people who relapse. They say, oh, that guy fell off the wagon. Fell off the wagon means you relapsed. You started drinking again. And I try to think of it literally, like you were on a wagon and then you fell off and you landed on a crack pipe or you landed on a bottle of Jim Beam. How you fall off a wagon? And then a guy in NA told me this, which is amazing. He said, there's a secret to this. There's a way to keep from falling off the wagon. And if you picture it in your mind, it makes sense. The way to keep from falling off the wagon is to stay in the middle of the wagon, right? And if you equate that over to AA and NA, the way to stay in the middle of the wagon is to do the 4-point plan, is to go to meetings, man, and go talk to your sponsor every day and always be at your home group with the people who love you. How do you know you're in the middle of the wagon? Because your people love you at your home group. You're in there. Like, the people that fall off the wagon are the ones that start missing their home group meeting, or they come in late and they don't talk to anybody. And you just, if you're a home group member, you start to instinctively feel, hey man, there's something fucked up with that guy. You know, last week he was bubbly, he was part of the crowd. This week he seems kind of confused and a little bit dickish, or whatever he's doing to make him not be part of the crowd. There's a disease that lives in your brain that wants to keep you from being part of the crowd. It wants to keep you from going to your home group. It does not want you to stay sober. Your home group members absolutely 100% want you to stay sober. They're there to help you stay sober.
Absolutely. They definitely hold me accountable.
Even if you don't,
Go ahead, guy.
hopefully you guys can hear me.
You sound like a robot, guy.
But even if you don't,
Yeah, you still sound like a robot, buddy.
You guys,
Yeah, you sound like a
I'll
robot.
pass.
Hey, but
All right,
you
I'll
laugh
pass.
like a human being. Sean,
Yeah.
you saw your home group members yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be moving our meeting hall to a bigger and better facility.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that you were being of service to your home group yesterday, and so you saw your home group people?
Yeah, I guess technically it would be being of service, but to me it's just hanging out with my family, helping each other move. Yeah. We're moving our facility, so we all went there at 8 o'clock in the morning. We all packed up the meeting hall, brought it into the storage until we find a new facility to move all our stuff. Which again, we will all meet again at the storage and move it to the new place.
Wait, so you went to your home group location, you stacked up all the chairs, took them outside and put them into a truck. You stacked up all the tables, took them outside, put them into a truck. You took down all the banners off the walls. You probably grabbed the podium, probably got any supplies from the snacks and the sodas and the coffee, and you moved everything into a truck and you drove it somewhere, and then you unloaded that truck into a storage facility.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool to see it go down because it's not just me. I mean, there's 40 members that show up there, so it gets done pretty quick. There's trucks everywhere. Everybody's just getting stuff in there, and like it's amazing to see everybody come together, the home group. You mean because we're all a family. I mean, we haven't seen each other in a while, except for on the Zoom meeting. So it's good just to have some kind of social social interaction. But yeah, being of service, and it was good to see everybody, and yeah.
Man, I hope all y'all were wearing masks and social distancing.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you got to see your home group members and you got to be of service, because being of service is a key component to this 4-point plan.
Yes.
Number 4, the 4-point plan is be a service or get a commitment. And when we talk about getting a commitment, we're talking about getting a service commitment. And getting a service commitment is about being a service to the meeting that saved your life, to the program that saved your life. Like, you could be the person who sets up the chairs to start the meeting. You could be the person that hands out the chips, which you can do virtually on Zoom, or you can do it in person. You can hand someone a chip, and if there wasn't a coronavirus, you give them a big hug. When I got sober, they gave me big hugs. Every time I got 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. There was one meeting I went to because there was a really pretty girl that gave big hugs. Woo! I'm saying. So,
The hug commitment.
Commitment, man. A commitment will keep you clean. We got meeting level commitments. We got area level commitments like the GSRs, the group service representatives, or I like to say the GSR stands for the good stuff reporter. But the GSR will go to the area meeting. The area chairs of all the subcommittee chairs will be there, like the hospitals and institutions chair. That's the person that makes sure that the panels go out to the treatment facilities, to the jails, to the fire camps. For people who can't take a meeting, can't go to a meeting themselves, we will take a meeting to them. So that's one of the commitments, one of the service commitments that we're very actively involved in. People are actively involved in the activities committee. My wife was the activities chair for a year or two, and she would travel out to the regional area and represent us. She put on really good activities in the area, so people could get together for dances or cookouts or picnics at the beach. So she found a way to be a service at the area level. And then, like I said, she would go to the regional meeting out in Monrovia, California, where she would represent our area. But out at region, they have commitments too, man. There's people that run the regional phone lines. There's people that run the regional literature commitment. I worked at the region, or had a service commitment, a volunteer service commitment at the region as a clerk for the sponsorship Behind the Walls committee, which was a way for addicts to go and receive mail from people in prison who wanted to get clean and have sponsors, and they would sponsor people like as a pen pal. By mail, they would be sponsoring people and helping people go through the steps. So that was my regional level commitment. So when I tell people get a commitment, I'm saying, man, basically find a job, a volunteer position that you can do in the program and do it for free, and do it whenever you're required to. If it's weekly or monthly, make sure you're there and you're doing it, man. Commitments will keep you clean. Being of service will keep you clean. If all you're doing is going to a meeting and sitting there by yourself and not doing anything to give back, well, you're ripping off the program, and it's probably not going to work for you anyways. We have seen, the people before us have shown us, you got to give back. You can only keep what you have by giving it away. So that's what we do, man. We give it away. Guy is every Friday night, man. Guy is secretary in a meeting. You think Guy would rather be out on Friday night watching the Clippers lose in the playoffs or watching the Rams lose? Guy has all kinds of things he wants to do on Friday nights. Sean, I know that you're a commitment junkie, man. You did the service yesterday with your home group.
Yes.
Tell me about some of the commitments you have over quality of life when you guys are open.
Oh, Mondays I do the signs, which I go there an hour early to take the signs and put them out so people know where to park and people know what driveway to come into. And it only takes a minute and a half to do that, but it gets you to the meeting, gets you there fellowshipping. So it's kind of a trick. It's why I believe that's why they have commitments there, because it gets you there, but it gets you part of. Like, I'll get there, people greet you, and it's kind of a little trick. And then there's so Tuesday I would do setup. I'd come there an hour early at least and help set the chairs up and the tables up. Wednesday, I'm the secretary on Wednesday, so that's my commitment. But I also give out the commitments to people. Right now we don't have any because of Corona, but Thursday, I'd probably set up or clean up. Friday, I was a greeter, which is an hour-long commitment. I show up an hour early to stand there for an hour and greet people that come to shows up. Saturday, I believe I did a greeter too, and Sunday I did set up or clean up, or no, I took the trash out Sundays. But not only that, if somebody can't come to the meeting, they call you and ask them to, you cover their commitments. It has to be done. If you don't get done, then people hold you accountable. Like, well, no, the trash didn't get out last night. Who's on trash? Well, just Bob on Roscoe was supposed to do it, and I don't know where Bob's at.
He's back on Roscoe.
Bob's on. I should use a different name, but Bob's good. So all those little commitments, at first I'm doing the sense of, okay, I'll help set up, get the meeting together. But it was more than that. It was deeper than that. The reason I believe why I had to do all these commitments was it helped. It made me accountable. Like I had to be there. Like, the first couple of times I would be a couple minutes late. Like, oh, I was supposed to be at 7:00. It's 7:02. My sponsor like, why were you late? Like, I don't know, traffic. I didn't leave earlier. So all these little things embedded this sense of responsibility in me where I had to be there on time. And if I didn't, I was going to answer to somebody. Somebody was going to know because they call you out on your shit if you're not there. And it doesn't get done or it gets done later. And they quality of life, they do. I imagine most meetings do, but especially this one, it's very structured. And that's what I needed. I needed that structure in my life. And, today I have 30, 40 alarms set in my phone for different various events in my life. And it's including number one is calling my sponsor every single day at 4 p.m. I have a half-hour window to call him every single day. And we just talk about what's going on, where I'm current with my sponsor, and it took me a while to get there, but it's amazing. The 4-point plan it may not make sense now, but the longer you do it, the longer you stay, you'll be able to connect the dots looking back to why you're doing it. So get your sponsor and just listen to him. Just listen to him.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so Sean is a little humble about this commitment thing, but I want you guys to get a grip on what he just told you. And what Sean told you was he's been clean for 17 months because he did the 4-point plan and he did his commitments. And here's the thing about Sean doing commitments over there at the Quality of Life. One, he was required to have a commitment every single day, okay? Now, most of the people I talk to refuse to even go to a meeting every day. Sean was like, yo, I'll go to a meeting every day and I'll help that motherfucker run, right? So he's there every goddamn day, and he ain't just there for the meeting. He ain't just there for an hour. His sponsor required him to, if he has a commitment, he has to be there an hour before the meeting starts, okay? So now it's no longer I have an hour to go to a meeting. No, now it's a 2-hour commitment. You got to be at the meeting before the meeting for an hour. You got to do your commitment. You got to bring out the signs. You got to make the coffee. You got to set up the chairs, whatever the commitment is. And then you got to hang out and you got to do the whole meeting, which is an hour, sometimes an hour and 15 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half. You got to do the commitment. You got to do the meeting. And then after the meeting, I used to go to meetings with Sean, so I know what I'm talking about. After the meeting, Sean would have another commitment. He would do another commitment after the meeting. That would be another 15 minutes to a half hour. So you got to understand that every single day, Sean was committed to going to a meeting for 3 hours at least. And that's not even counting the amount of time it took him to get there. Because back when Sean was new, he didn't have a car, so he had to take the bus. So let's say it's a half hour there and a half hour back. That's a 4-hour commitment on a daily basis. Every single day, 4 hours dedicated just to one meeting. And he's still clean. Now, these are not coincidences. Coincidences is just a long word that means God. God made sure that Sean went to meetings for 4 hours every day because Sean's the kind of psychopathic knucklehead that if he goes back to using, he's going to get in trouble and lose everything in his life that he fucking values and loves, right? And God doesn't want Sean to lose everything in his life that he values and loves. God wants Sean to have a life beyond his wildest dreams. So he introduced him to the Quality of Life. The Quality of Life introduced him to 4-hour fucking commitments to go to a meeting every day. And now he is still fucking clean. Now, all these knuckleheads I work with, they're like, I can't go to a meeting every day because I'm busy and tired. You're idiots. I want you to go to a meeting every day so that you can have a life like Sean's got, man. So you can have a life like Guy's got. So you can have a life like I've got. A life beyond your wildest dreams. This is what the 4-point plan can do, man. I don't see people ever. I've never met anybody that came up to me and said, JR, I did that 4-point plan, and it was the worst thing I ever did, and I regret it so much. Biggest regret of my life was doing the 4-point plan. That 4-point plan sucks, and you suck, and fuck you. No one's ever said that. No. People that do the 4-point plan, they're like, hey, JR, I did the 4-point plan. Oh, by the way, I got my kids back. I got a job better than I ever dreamed I would. I'm driving a badass car. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. The 4-point plan happened. And my life is awesome. My life is awesome because of the 4-point plan. Let's let him in on some secrets. 90 and 90 is just the beginning. You go to a meeting every day for 3 months, and then you just keep going to meetings every day because you realize that that's what makes your life better. Your sponsor, you call your sponsor every day. You call your sponsor when things are good. You call your sponsor when things are bad. You have someone that's on your side. It becomes like fucking, for me, it became like the father I never had. You get a home group. Shoot, sorry guys, I got confused for a second. You get a home group, and you build a family with these people in your home group, and they care about you. I want to tell a quick home group story. When I got a year clean, when I got my first year, sorry, my phone keeps going off. When I got my first year, my home group threw a birthday party for me, right? Like, you never even hear of anything like that, a birthday party for a member in the home group. So it was a surprise party. I showed up. There's a bunch of people there. It was amazing. There were like 100 people at a friend's house, a member of my home group's house. There were like 100 people from my home group there. And they threw this birthday party. My wife threw this party. My sponsor was there. They had a cookout. They made a cake. And on the cake, there was an action figure of Hulk Hogan, an action figure of Jimmy Snuka. And they built a wrestling ring on top of the cake. And it said, "Happy 1-year champ." I wasn't even wrestling anymore. But because of this, man, I started to believe. My home group members loved me. They knew how much I loved wrestling. They loved me and they believed in me. And I got back into wrestling. And almost every single member of my home group, I'm serious about this, even like the mean old ladies in my home group, have been to see me wrestle. Because we're like family, man. It's fucking awesome. So I hope you can get a home group that's like family to you. And I hope that you can buy into the commitment thing, man, like Sean has for 4 hours. Like Guy has, secretary in every meeting on Friday nights, man. I love it. I love the 4-point plan. I love what it does. I love what it's done for us.
So easy if you just do it. Really.
They act like it's the hardest thing in the world. There are people that don't want to do the 4-point plan, and oh, God bless you. But if you keep going back to detox over and over again, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always got. If you want different results, you have to take different actions, man. If you change your behaviors, your thoughts and your feelings will follow. Behaviors. It's all about behavior. It's all about what you do. Sean and I have a contest going where we each have really cool shoes, right? And we're hooked, and we keep buying these really cool shoes and showing them off to each other. The point of it is, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you feel. It only matters what you do. And so your feet will get you into a meeting. So get some cool shoes to take your ass to a meeting. I'm still waiting for Guy to buy in and get some more Pumas. He's got a couple of really cool pair of Pumas. I'm on the K-Swiss. Sean's on some weird British shit. But I'm waiting for Guy to really get into the shoes, man. Maybe because we're on Zoom right now, he ain't got to worry about it. But Guy, I've seen some dope-ass Pumas out there with your name on them, brother. You need to get some more shoes. All right. Robot Man doesn't have much to say. All I got to say is All I got to say is I love you guys, man. I am super excited about the 4-point plan. I'm excited about finding more people and introducing them to this idea. Guy, I'm counting on you, buddy, to get out there at your meeting and teach people about the 4-point plan. I know that you've got sponsees that are publicly talking about the 4-point plan and bumping us up. Sean, I know, is a big 4-point plan guy. His friends, you got sponsees now, Sean?
No.
When Sean starts sponsoring people, I'm hoping he can get them onto the 4-point plan as well. 4-point plan works. We're going to wrap up for the day. Any last words from Robot Man Guy? No, he's frozen. All right. Any last words from you, Sean?
4-point plan works. If you want to stay sober, you want to have a life beyond your wildest dreams, as Jared likes to say, even though it sounds cliche, it's true. Everything I have today is a direct result from the 4-point plan. And just give it a shot. Try it out. We'll see you guys next week.
Oh, my God. That warms my heart. Robot Man, say goodbye, buddy.
Bye, everybody. Sorry about the connection.
All right.
I'll see you next week.
Right on. We love you all. Join us back here for the 4-point plan next week. In the meantime, go to 4pointplan.com, spell it out, 4pointplan.com. Go onto the YouTube channel and search for the 4-point plan. Email us at 4pointplan with the number 4pointplan@gmail.com. If you have any questions or any comments, you can do that. In the meantime, we're going to be out here going to meetings, talking to our sponsor, being of service, staying clean, man. This is how it works. We love you and thank you.